Erica Ayala.
Hey, Coach, good to see you. Wanted to ask, how you think your team is handling pace. And I don't necessarily mean, given the definition of the stat. I'd really like to know how you think your team is able to control the game that they want to play at any particular point in the game.
I think, probably the thing that factors in most to what I think you're referring to is we tend to stall out offensively. We're still really having trouble with secondary actions. When our first action gets bogged down, we've had some games where we're really good at like getting into a secondary pick and roll, dribble at backdoor, handoff. If they overplay it, we backdoor, we get a back cut. If the help comes when we back cut, we hit the skip out. We looked a step slow with that tonight, and we have it a lot this year. The times that we haven't, we've been, I thought, really good offensively. I think that one of the things that we are celebrating is that they found a way to stay competitive on a night when, we weren't hitting a ton of shots. We weren't efficient from the field. They did hit their threes, which was great. And Nurse, she found a way. She found a way to impact the game, even though her threes weren't dropping. And that was something we talked about. She had rebounds, 6 boards. She had 3 assists. She didn't have any turnovers. I mean, outside of the shots falling, I thought Nurse played really, really well. And she did it on a night where it wasn't like things were going her way. She found a way. And that was impressive.
Azar Johnson.
Hey, Coach. Azar Johnson from MV Magazine. In your opinion, what was the key to you guys losing tonight? In other words, like you kept coming close, you kept knocking on the door, but you couldn't get over the hump. Was there anything particular? Was the reason why you couldn't take the lead or to pull out the game in the end?
I think our defense, their guards really whooped us tonight. And they're good, and they got to the rim, and I thought our bigs were a little bit afraid to leave their bigs because of their offensive rebounding ability, and we made the adjustments and slowed them down a little bit in the second half, but I thought that the rhythm that the Mitchells got off to in the first half really set the tone for the game. And then I think offensively, back to Erica's question, I just don't think that we're quite comfortable yet in secondary actions and knowing one another and knowing where people want to go and what we want to do on an individual basis. If Kia Nurse is better at handoffs to get her in an action like that in a secondary action versus Layshia being better in a ball screen. And it's just learning one another. And like I've said ad nauseum, it's really hard with a young team without practice time. It's just really hard. And I'm the last one who wants to make excuses. It's just the truth of the matter. So we're doing everything we can with film, but we had Layshia, our elder statesman, play almost 37 minutes tonight. We couldn't take her off the floor. And so it makes it really hard, to go in and have a full practice and work on this stuff full speed. It's like, these are our practices. And it's just tough. It's just tough.
Jackie Powell.
Hey, Walt, just expanding upon the question of defense, I thought there was a shift from half to half and just the togetherness of the defense, but what sort of difference did you see there? And was there a reason why Amanda didn't play a ton in the second half?
We liked what Stokes was doing Shook was doing defensively. We wanted to give her a chance to find a little rhythm, and with Amanda, when she sits for long periods, her back gets a little tight, and so that was what was going through my head, late, and I wanted to give Shook that opportunity to get some of those reps and get some of those minutes. Like I've said to you guys before, that those are important minutes for them. She's somebody who I think is going to be a really good player for us, and she's got to be in those high leverage situations at some point. for her to be ready for big minutes later in the season and next year and going forward in her career. So I thought she gave us really good minutes. I thought Amanda was good too. It wasn't a case of, being frustrated. I thought the biggest thing that stood out to me was Amanda's leadership behind the bench was unbelievable. She could have pouted, she could have been upset, and nothing, not one bit of it. She led, she talked to her teammates. I heard her positivity the entire game, and I told her after the game how proud I was of that. I know from experience that's hard. You want to be in the game, and she's done everything necessary to be in games with us in late games, and she will be going forward. It was just a matter of, we wanted to let Shook kind of ride it out and learn a little bit, and I thought she did a pretty good job.
Last question, Jeff Magliochetti.
Hey, Coach. You mentioned that Layshia played nearly 37 minutes tonight. So did Kia Stokes. So what did you think about the game she played tonight?
Stokes has been a rock for us, just a rock. She's just been so steady and so solid. She had a 3 of 5 game from 3, and we're pretty proud of her for continuing to shoot those shots. But defensively, she had one foul late, I think, that stood out to me. And obviously, we'll watch film and we'll see if some of the pick and roll coverages were a little off. But she's just been so damn steady, man. And she's another one who we lean on, and similar to Layshia, it's like it's scary to take her out of the game and Zowie too, and Kia too. I mean, they're so solid, and they know what they're doing. And Stokes was fantastic tonight. I thought those threes were really big, and she continues to find her confidence from out there. And I think you guys are going to see more nights like this as she believes in herself more and more.
Thanks, Coach. Next, we're going to have Layshia Clarendon. Jeff Magliochetti.
Hey, Layshia, thank you for joining us. You played 37 minutes out there tonight. Is there anything you've had to do, with such a huge workload? Is there any adjustments you've had to make to your conditioning? Have you had to make any adjustments to practice or anything with such a high workload in these type of situations?
I haven't been averaging 37 minutes, so is that going? I haven't been averaging that many minutes, so it's not like I'm one of the top minute leaders in the league, but just with the schedule this season, we really had to adjust. Like, you can't practice on a day in between. There's literally just not enough bandwidth. It doesn't matter the amount of massages or treatment that you get. You just have to do like pull workouts and foam roll on the days in between. So I think that's hitting everybody, including myself. Stokes played 37 minutes tonight too. So it's just trying to sleep and eat as well as you can, and try and recover in the short window that we do get.
Jackie Powell.
Hey, Layshia. So y'all took care of the ball much better tonight against the Fever. I believe only 7 turnovers. So what felt different about tonight, and how were you able to take care of the ball better?
That's a good question. We're slowing down a little better. Our offense still stalled, but I think we are improving at learning each other, because some of those turnovers are like, I go to cut this way, I think the pass is going to happen. You saw I had a turnover kicking the ball up to Nate Odom that I'm learning, how quick she runs up the court and that kind of thing. So I think a little bit of us were learning each other, and a little bit of it was we just slowed down. And they're not a super pressure, Minnesota type defense, get up in your grill, LA type defense. So a little bit of their style of play helped us out too.
Erica Ayala.
Layshia, thanks for your time. Hope you get a good laugh in for tomorrow. But I wanted to ask you actually about Kia Nurse. It's difficult to not find your rhythm, this many games into a season that's already very short and very unique. From your perspective, you get a front row view. How has Nurse been able to deal with that, to put on the performance that she did tonight?
And she's still getting in the gym. Anytime we have extra optional shooting, she's there. She's doing that work Shooters have slumps. The best in the world go through slumps. So that's one thing. She's still putting in the work in that. And then the other thing was coming into this game, and she had a conversation with Coach Walt about what else she can be doing when her shots aren't falling. And I think you saw tonight she had like 6 rebounds. I think she had 3 assists, so she got other people going. I know she hit me on 1 shot, and she just played with a lot of energy and hustle. So it's not, obviously she still scored, I think, 20 points, but she's finding ways to impact the game. That's not only as a shooter, only hitting 3 or 4 or 5 threes a game. She's finding ways to help us out. And I think that kind of shows your character, what kind of teammate you are, because it's going to happen in this league to everybody.
Darren Paul.
Hi, Layshia. Thank you for your time. What would you say is the biggest positive that you're taking away from this game? Obviously, a tight loss, but you guys really performed. So what's the biggest positive you're taking away?
Biggest positive, that we got into the game experience, because this literally is the only way we can practice during this season. So that we got into the game experience, I think, is the big positive. Learning how to score in the stretch, trying to get stops, because that's how the games are going to go.
Last question, Azar Johnson.
Look, Layshia. Hey. Hey. I was wondering, what do you feel that on your part maybe that you didn't do, that's the reason why that you guys couldn't pull it out tonight?
What did I do? I know in the first half I gave Element, I think, 2 threes, so that was big because we were down, I think, 10 in the first half. So being locked in a little bit more defensively on those coverages. I lost her, I know, once on a flare, and she hit a 3, and that kind of got him going. So you can't, she's a 50% three-point shooter, so I can't give her those.
Thank you, Layshia. Next, we're going to have Kia Nurse. Jackie Powell.
Hey, Kia, thanks so much for giving us your time tonight. I was wondering if you could take us through this mental process of yours, sort of finding your stride and finding the ways aside from shooting that you could really contribute on the floor.
It wasn't fun. Being in the bubble is a lot more stressful than it typically could be. When I do get into slumps like that, I tend to just step away from basketball for a day on a day off and come back. And I wasn't able to do that here because I had to be in the bubble. So it was really just a matter of staying with it. My coaches stuck with me. My teammates stuck with me. And last night I just called pretty much every member in my family, and I was like, what did you do? And how do you get out of it? Just went to the rim today.
Erica Ayala.
Hey, Kia, I actually wanted to ask you a little bit about Kylie Shook. Coach talked to us about her getting some extended minutes, which he felt was good for the team overall, obviously for Shook. But what have you seen up close in her development as a young rookie who dealing with injury and then coming in able to step up and eat up some minutes for you tonight?
I think Kylie's done a great job for us from day one. Obviously, she's pretty eager to learn. She asks a lot of questions when she's trying to figure things out. I think on the court, she can shoot the ball. She's smart. She rolls really well, and she catches anything you throw at her. So I think that's something that's really, really special about her. Her defense was great for us tonight as well, obviously with Indiana's bigs, and then her presence on the boards. So I think she just comes in with a lot of energy. She's fearless about it, and she's doing a lot of great things for us.
Darren Paul.
Hi, Kia. Thank you for your time. As you grow as a team and as you get used to each other more, what is exciting you about the remainder of this season and moving forward beyond then?
I think we just continue to fight every single game. We've given ourselves a chance to really come back, whether we were down or to win the game if we had a chance towards the end. So I think that's really exciting, especially with a young team, with a team that doesn't have a ton of experience playing in this league day in and day out. It's one thing when you come in and you're a rookie and you've got games every 3 or 4 days and you've got time to kind of do film and figure it out. It's a whole other thing when you come in and you've got a game every other day. And it's a new team, it's a new vet, it's new people to play against. So I'm excited on how we've really stepped up to the plate and how we've continued to grow every single game and get better at little different things. So I think that's the most exciting part about it.
Jeff Magliochetti.
Hi, Kia. Thank you for joining us. Coach Hopkins has repeatedly stated this season that, growth is not always present in the win column, and you guys are growing in all different ways. Where did you see growth from this squad tonight, personally?
I think we did a good job offensively and defensively just trying to figure things out. Obviously, when the offense either stalls or they blow up a play, the other team blows up a play defensively, really just trying to figure out what the next phase is. A lot of that comes with really having the time to practice and having the time to get to know each other, get to know tendencies, what people like to do. And we don't have a ton of practice time. So we've been kind of doing a whole lot of that on the fly. So I think that was another thing that we grew in today, was just really kind of stepping into that, continuing to learn each other's games, continuing to learn reads with one another, and putting together a good performance.
Thank you, Kia, and thank you all. We'll be sending out the recording shortly. Thank you.